Hello, dear pupils. I'm very glad to welcome all of you in the House of Knowledge. It's our first lesson and experience in such a way of teaching and studying. My name is Катекаев Усинжан Меджидович. Добро пожаловать в Дом знаний. During the webinar, you are free to ask any questions on the topic of the webinar, of course, and I'll give you answers during this or the following webinar. You must write your questions in the comments. I'm going to ask you some questions too, so be ready to answer. Before we start, check the sound, the picture. I think everything is okay and we are ready to start. Well, as you have watched our video lessons and asked us some questions, I've prepared answers to some common questions on the topic. And today's topic of our webinar is Language of British Isles. Сегодня мы разберем наиболее часто задаваемые вопросы по теме язык Британских островов. It may surprise you to know that until a few centuries ago, there were natives of the British Isles who didn't speak English. The western land of Wales spoke Welsh, and in the farthest north and the islands of Scotland, the language was Gaelic. And in Ireland, people spoke a similar language, Irish Gaelic. Manx was the language of the Isle of Man, and Cornish was the language of the south-western tip of Britain. We are not talking about dialects, localized versions of a language, which often contain alternative words or phrases for certain things, but which are forms of English. Welsh, Gaelic, Manx and Cornish are complete languages with their own grammar, poetry and stories, all that we call a culture. Strangely enough, there is a strong revival of interest in them. In Scotland, Gaelic Language Society has existed for 80 years. It's dedicated to preserving the traditions of the Gaelic songs, verse and prose. And more people in the lowland areas of Scotland, as well as the islands where Gaelic is still spoken, now want to learn the language. Since the early 1980s, more and more people are learning Gaelic and go to evening classes. Now people in schools can choose to take Gaelic for their final exams. In Wales, the Welsh Language Society was formed in 1962, and it has been fighting to restore Welsh to an equal place with English. In 1967, they won an important victory. Welsh was recognized as being equally valid for use in law courts, either written or spoken. In Wales, some of programs of the Fourth Channel are broadcast in Welsh. I gathered some most common questions and prepared answers. And if you want to ask something about the language of British Isles, you can do it in comments, of course. What used to be the native language of most of Britain? It was Britannic. What percentage of Wales speak modern Welsh? Well, modern Welsh is roughly spoken by 20% of the population. Is there anywhere else in the world where Welsh is spoken? Well, you might be surprised, but yes, in a Welsh colony in Argentina. What percentage of Ireland can speak Irish Gaelic? About a third of the population can speak Irish Gaelic. Which speakers of different languages have no difficulty in communicating? Speakers of Scottish Gaelic and speakers of Irish Gaelic They don't have any difficulties in communicating, and which language has no native speakers left. Manx Gaelic hasn't native speakers left. Which language has regular radio? Cornish has regular news broadcasts on the radio. Which language is the most recent to the British Isles? English, when the Anglo-Saxons invaded Britain in the 5th century AD. While speaking about language of British Isles and Britain itself, remember the following words. Occupation, оккупация, state of being entered and controlled by a foreign army. Invasion, вторжение, forcible entry of an army into a foreign country. Roughly, приблизительно, в общих чертах, approximately. Declining, уменьшаясь, becoming less and less frequent. Native, родной, original of a country. Revived, возродился, brought back to existence. Fluently, бегло, spoken well. We all use different languages to speak with each other, but what are the tools that we use to communicate with each other? Nowadays, people communicate by telephone, text messaging, or sending emails. And now I have a question to you. Do you remember, or maybe you know, how did people communicate in the past? Well, summing up all the tools, we can say that there were different ways of communicating in all times. In the past, people communicated by pigeon, smoke signals, messengers, runners, a person who delivered news from one point to another, a network of people shouting, whistling. Speaking about the ways people communicate, we can use take your pick, выбрать, choose freely, выбрать свободно, loft, голубятня, space at the top of a house where pigeons live, пространство в верхней части дома, где голуби живут. No matter, независимо от, regardless of, независимо от. Airmail, воздушная почта. Letters sent by plane, письма, отправленные самолетом. Awarded a medal, награжден медалью. Given a small metal disc for bravery. Получаем небольшой металлический диск за отвагу. Blanket, покрывало. Cover for a bed made of wool or similar warm material. Покрытие для кровати, сделанное из шерсти или аналогичного теплого материала. Convey, передавать. Deliver, доставлять. Signal, сигнализировать. Send a message, отправить сообщение. Peak, вершина. The top of mountain, верхушка горы. Efficient, эффективный. Quick and effective, быстрый и эффективный. Whistling, свист. Making a high sound by blowing through one's lips. Издать громкий звук, когда дуешь между губ. As for the following task, it will help us to practice the skill of word formation, which is quite necessary for your final state examination. Следующий тип задания, который мы разберем, он представлен у вас в формате ЕГЭ, поэтому прошу вас обратить внимание. You see the word and its translation on the screen. And can you give us the right variant? Do you know the right variant? Distance. Дистанция. We need meaning отдаленный. Create. Изобретать. Создавать. We need meaning изобретательность. Communicate. Связываться. Общаться. We need meaning of the word. Связь. Win. Побеждать. We need the word победитель. Hero. Герой. We need the word отважный, героический. Differ. Отличаться. We need the word различный. Message. Послание. We need the word посыльный. Destined. Назначенный. We need the word назначение. Vary. Отличаться, различаться. We need the word разновидность. Arrive. Прибывать. We need the word прибытие. Well, you can, if you are able to give all these meanings, well, I can say that you are almost ready for your final state examination, one of its part. But if not, let's learn the meanings and look at the screen. Here the right answers. Distance, distant. Create, creativity. Communicate, communication. Win, winner. Hero, heroic. Differ, different. Message, messenger. Destined, destination. Vary, variation. Arrive, arrival. Well, my friends, our webinar is over for today. Thank you all for your work, for your attention. See you next time. Goodbye.